everyone, it's Mrs. Sommer here to talk about how our course chemistry is set up for the fourth quarter. This is your Google Classroom. Chemistry 6th period, but 4th period is set up the exact same way. The stream is where I post updates, information that might be useful before I can see you next. And then if we go to the classwork, there's course information. And just like the previous unit or previous quarter, week one, they're organized by weeks. The topics are organized by weeks. And so week 1 is unit 5. So if it was week 3, we would be in unit 6, etc. Course information has some very valuable tools, and it's also where you're going to keep, where your unit pacing trackers are going to be. And that is the biggest difference between first, second quarter and this quarter, is that we are using a pacing tracker, portfolio, and reflection log as your learning experience grade for the unit. So no longer will I be uploading to Infinite Campus individual assignments. So you'll see 501c is not going to be in Infinite Campus. It will be in your Google Classroom, and you are going to keep track of your scores on those assignments using your pacing tracker. So this is what Unit 5 looks like. Each student has gotten a copy of it. What you're going to do is, so the must-dos are things that you absolutely have to do in order to earn, a higher score on this assignment. So you'll keep track of your scores in the score category. If there's some place where you need to link your work, it means that you need to make a copy of this document and then link that work into your unit pacing tracker. So your reflection guide, after each week of the unit, you're going to discuss your learning, your struggles, what your successes. You're going to reflect upon your learning, and that's going to be in this document as well. The other big change for this unit is how I'm grading these learning experience grades. So these learning experiences is that 30% category in our student handbook. So in order to get 100% on this Unit 5 tracker, you need to complete all of the must-dos and all of the should-dos with mastery and document your scores, link to complete work, and thoughtful and complete reflections. That means that you still have to reach mastery on these assignments. So it's not just the completion anymore, like we did away with completion back the last quarter. We're doing it the same thing this quarter. The only difference is those individual scores will not be linked into Infinite Campus. So it kind of helps you in the beginning of the unit as like the quarter as well, because a 0 doesn't necessarily tank your grade, because you have the whole unit to complete this tracker and get those scores up to mastery. Now, if you're like, I don't want to do the should-dos, I am fine doing the must-dos, and I can be successful in my tests, well, that's up to you. But you can only score an 83 in Infinite Campus under the learning experience for Unit 5 if you just reach mastery on the must-dos. For a 65 in the gradebook for Infinite Campus under the 30% category is you've attempted the must-dos, but not all of them have reached mastery. And some of your stuff is linked, and you have some thoughtful and complete reflections. Okay. And then for 0 is you didn't do this. You didn't complete the tracker. You didn't turn it in. Submit it by next Friday for Unit 5 or whenever the unit is complete. You don't have links. You just didn't turn it in. This is also, though, if you, some of the other parts, you need to make sure that you're completing everything in this rubric category in order to earn that score. You need to turn these in because this is the grade. This is learning experience grade. Okay. Next, if we go up here, if we go back to Google Classroom, you will notice, there's Classroom. Well, you'll notice that we have a course website now. The course website includes all of those should-dos. The should-dos are linked in your tracker as well as on the website. So if we look at this website, so it's got all of your information, course resources, class expectations and grading, extra videos, the unit work. If we go to class expectations and grading, and I'll let you guys go wander around this website on your own and you can see all of the different pieces that are in it. It's one complete package that easily where students can get more information for things, etc. So expectations, attendance. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, students must ask a science or math related question using the Q&A feature in Google Meet. If they write, "I don't have a question," they're not going to be counted as present. So the science and math question is, I'm trying to get them to ask more questions about the content. Okay, I didn't understand question 5 on 502C. Can you please go over that? Sure, why not? I will love to go over that question with you. That's the intent behind the Q&A. Now, if they don't have any questions about the content, they can ask any science-related wanderings that they may have. Wednesdays and Fridays, students must answer a question using the Q&A feature in Google Meet. So I will post a question that they need to answer, and most of the time there'll be a couple different questions based on the beginning of their student ID to get a variety of different types of practice going. And putting IDK or I don't know as an answer is not acceptable. They won't be more present. If I want them to try their hardest, at least make an attempt on those questions. Another main difference in our course structure this year or this quarter is that I will be using breakout rooms every day. So students will be placed in a breakout room after our whole group meeting each day. So they can either choose to work with a partner or a partner/group or individually. So students on Friday, they filled out a Google form selecting which students they would like to work with in a group, and I've made groups based on that. They could have also selected, I don't want to work in a group and I'm going to work by myself. Even if they are working by themselves, they have to stay in the individual breakout room for a minimum of 30 minutes to work on their chemistry assignments. This allows students the ability to use that ask for help button and have me come in right away to clarify any misunderstandings, any struggling with any of the content, etc. Cameras, please encourage your students to turn them on. It's been a whole year of pandemic teaching and pandemic learning, and honestly, I miss faces. I miss seeing your students and seeing their reactions and seeing, oh wait, no, I don't understand that. I can see that on their face. Well, if it's just a letter with a black background, I can't see they're not understanding, that they're not getting something, or wow, that really worked. Let me use more of that example, those type of examples. They can change the layout so that they can select so that they only see me or my presentation on the screen, or whomever is talking, which is typically me. And they can add virtual backgrounds. So if they want to blur out anybody like siblings in the background, they can do that now in Google Meet. So please encourage your students to turn their cameras on. And then grading, more information is just right here. So when we talked about the tracker, portfolio, and reflection rubric, it's down here. That's referring to that 30% learning experience category. The summative assessment, so the unit tests, are graded using the full RRHS rubric. Okay. That sums it up about all the changes. I will stress that this quarter is much more challenging than first. We do a lot of math. Almost every single lesson outside of a handful is directly tied to mathematical concepts. So it's really important that your students are staying on topic or on pace, and they're asking for help when they need to, and they're not getting like too far behind, because it's very hard to get back up to speed if they are not staying on pace. If you have any questions, you can email me or call me to let me know if you have anything you need me to clarify. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe in all the snow.